Good morning. We're going to try this again. It is Tuesday, October 25th. It is 90 days out from January 23rd, 2023. Always focused on that 90-day window. Lots going on today. I trust we just had a volume issue. So if you're like, he's starting over again, there should be sound this time. And if somebody in the chat could tell me that you can hear me now, or if you're disappointed that you can hear me now, either way, I believe it's fixed. What happens? There we go. We got a good morning again, and apparently they can hear me. What happens is when you run a software update, and with the technicals that I have going on here at my desk, if I run a software update and then I don't restart everything, it doesn't necessarily find all the audio parts. So it was looking for a microphone that was non-existent, and now we got this one. Nobody cares because you could hear me, and if you're just joining us, you're like, why is he explaining this stuff on his desk? Because that's what we're doing. So again, welcome in Tuesday, October 25th, 90 days out from almost the end of January, January 23rd, 2023, which brings me to my next point. We're going to be talking about Business Planning Clinic today and how wildly important that is. So stay tuned for that. The rest of the slate, we've got something really cool going on. If you are in one of the northern reaches of our universe, our brand new soft opening. I don't think we've had the grand snipping yet, but the soft opening of the Hanover office. Melissa and Zoe are up there to meet with some of our Hanover agents and have a conversation about the technicals. It's agent setup, and I think we're rebranding it. And I made a recommendation on what the logo should look like, and Melissa and Zoe walked out of my office and shut the door. So I don't think they liked my idea. A lot of people don't like my ideas. But anyway, the agent setup class taking place in Hanover today. I believe they probably just landed because they left yesterday, and it's a 2-plane flight. 10 o'clock, Meredith, in person with the wildly talented. That is a strong use of words. The wildly talented Bradley Kelly is delivering VA loans. Everything you need to know about VA loans with Brad Kelly in person in Meredith. There are no cameras. There are no microphones. It's an in-person only event, although he is signing babies after the class. And I believe for the cool kids in the Lakes region, you will be exiting that class and heading over to a capper lunch. So congratulations to you. If you capped in the last 30 days, we always celebrate you with a capper lunch shortly thereafter. The one down here typically takes place at When Pigs Fly in Kittree, as the locals say. They don't really pronounce or enunciate the entire word because they didn't take elocution lessons with Sister Mary Margaret, which if you did, I still have the scars. So that being said, after that, locally, if you want to come knock on my door and hang out, or if you want to just jump on KellerTV.com, we have conversation and script practice. So on Tuesdays, coming to a theater near you, from the regional level, we are going to start to do full-on power days, like all day Tuesday, with themes and prizes and unicorns and soft serve ice cream, just to make sure people are really taking the time, at least one day a week, to go all in on appointment setting, on conversations being had. Because we know when you have enough conversations, you will set an appointment. There's an eerie correlation between the activities, talking about the activities, executing the activities, and then being successful with. So we want to create a space where everyone can just come into the market center region-wide. You'll be able to do it from home if you want, because it's literally going to be a link from the region. There'll be a scoreboard. We're going to give you the scripts if you want a script of the day. Because here's the thing, when we do any kind of call day and we start to do these power days, it will be moving forward. It's going to play out that it's going to be that Tuesday after transmittal. So probably the second Tuesday-ish of the month, there's going to be an all-day power day delivered from the region. We're going to rope off parts of our market center to the best of our ability moving forward, and we really want to start to make Tuesday mornings power day. So if you're in the mood today from 9 to 11, because we always guard our mornings to make sure they're lead gen full and clutter free. And then at 11 o'clock, scripts and conversations thereafter. So if you're making your calls today and you're running into objections, you need some help, join us at 11 o'clock on Keller TV every Tuesday at 11 o'clock for scripts and conversations practice. So we can just have conversations about what you're running into or not running into. Because if you're not running into objections, maybe you're not having enough conversations or asking enough questions. And if your ultimate fear, and we hear this all the time, is, well, Timmy, I don't want to make calls because I don't want to be salesy. I appreciate that. There's not a single script I'm going to put in front of you that is going to make you feel salesy. I want you guys to stay curious. you stay curious and keep asking questions about the individual you're on the call with, they will feel heard and cared for. That is the video game we're playing. And I understand our egos show up. Even when I tell you to park your ego next to your car in the parking lot and just get on the phone and be transparent and authentic, right? You can do that and still be successful. And if we're doing that enough, we're going to be there enough that when they become transactional, historically every 5 to 7 years, you'll be the person they call back. Or you call them a couple days before or a couple days after. This misconception that real estate and its success rate is like scratching a lottery ticket is false. It's about staying in contact with them. James Shaw says it all the time. You either love people or you love things. If you love people, you'll talk to them all the time. If you love things, you'll talk to people when they're about to give you money so you can go get more things. So who are you? And when you're about to, announce who you are, does your audio match your video? And if you're currently underwhelmed by the amount of business you're not currently running, if your business is underwhelming you right now, have your activities in the last 90 days been underwhelming? And there's no judgment. We just know there's a correlation. If you're not going to a closing table today, I know exactly what your face wasn't doing 90 days ago. And if we don't get to work today, you probably won't have a closing right around January 23rd, 2023. It's just all there is to it. Now, are there anomalies? Yes, you could run into a buyer that calls you back after you've been nurturing them for a while. They're like, hey, I got everything straightened out. I found the house I want. Can we make an offer tomorrow? Today, 10 minutes ago. Yes, and if you do that with financing right now, check with Brad Kelly, Movement Mortgage, 603-396-3198. Your buyers are probably closing in that 45-day window. So they would still close this calendar year. That's awesome. What do we know? By November 15th, you're probably putting your last purchase and sale under contract. None of the information I share with you is to scare you or to be the bad guy. And if you think I'm the bad guy, I don't care, because I'm here to help. I'm here to offer best practices. We're not here to tell you how to run your business. We're here to offer best practices. And if the conversations we're constantly having at 8:30 in the morning on the Quick Start, or in any coaching conversation, or parts of classes that make you uncomfortable, agents are going to go to places where the coach won't find them, right? And I'm looking everywhere. So if you're hiding, I'm going to track you down. One of the best questions I can ask you guys, if you're coming into a one-on-one today, one of the best questions I can ask you is, hey, right before you got through the door, or right before you got onto Zoom, what are you hoping I wouldn't ask you about? Let's talk about that. And I say this with love. Very few of you in our ecosystem at 463 are crushing your goals. And I say that with confidence because our best agents, as soon as they're starting to track their goals, as soon as they in their boat can see the buoy in the water they're headed for, they pick a buoy further out. They set a higher goal. So when I say to our best agents, our most successful agents, our most tenacious agents, how far behind are you? It's I know, because I know they're setting a bar. As soon as they can see the bar, they move it further away. They don't wait till they get and touch it. That's how we're going to set ourselves apart. That's how we are market leaders. Speaking of the great Brad Kelly, he just the other day in the All Partners meeting said that lenders, the belief system of lenders right now, based on stats, based on lag indicators, right, and year-over-year data, the prediction for the month of December in the state of New Hampshire, and I know we serve 4 states, bear with me, because this is a horrifying number that we have the control over as we speak. In the state of December, the forecast is that New Hampshire will have 500 closed sales. 500 closed sales in the state of New Hampshire for December. That's what their prediction is right now. That's what the forecast is right now. That's what the models are showing them right now. I feel like I'm doing the weather. Of those 500 closed sales, I would like us to have all 752. So what can you be doing right now? Because we're always talking about the 90 days out. That's if you put somebody into your business right now. Who in your business right now, and I say this with love, who do you currently have signed in your business right now? Are you underserving? I know a lot of us are working with a lot of buyers. I appreciate that. Are you working with your buyers or are you waiting with your buyers? I love the analogy. 4,000% of my analogies are food, right? It's fun to discuss. I get everybody's attention when I talk about food. There's not a single person that can hear the sound of my voice right now at our market center, which is the only one I truly care about, within our region, at our greater company, KWRI, or who calls themselves, who fancies themselves a realtor right now. Not a single one of you needs another buyer. Nobody needs another fat kid. We all need another bear claw. So the activities we're going to do today as we build these Tuesdays, what a great day for a power day, Gratitude Tuesday. Because you could, don't tell me you can't because you haven't, and until you've done it, until you taste test it for a year, you can't come back to me and say it doesn't work. You could spend every Tuesday calling everyone in your life and telling them you're grateful for them for whatever reason. I'm thankful you were my Cub Scout master. I'm thankful we played soccer together in the 5th grade. I'm thankful you were my senior year high school science teacher. Doesn't matter. We have the math. When you call someone and you share gratitude for them and with them, no one's offended. If they're offended, that's when you should use the French word déliter, which is eradicate them from your phone. But nobody's going to do that. And I'm a firm believer no one should leave your phone. You've got that person in your life that you don't necessarily love. They're never going to pull the trigger with you, but they've got a gateway to other people that you want to be in business with. So, conversation and script practice, 11 o'clock today. Tuesdays moving forward, we're going to continue to build out these power days as a region once a month, and then power days 9 to 11 in our market center. More information on that is coming. And you're allowed to do it today. I recommend you do it every morning. We defend 9 to 11 every morning on purpose. Wednesdays, we do contracts. Every other day, 9 to 11, is hyper clean. To make sure you only have one thing on your plate. Communicate with your people. Nurture your phone calls. Strengthen your relationships. And discover that unrealized opportunity that's sitting in your phone. Michael Mayer, the 7 levels of communication. Today, somewhere in my city, someone's looking for help, and it's my job to find them. Because absent our excellence, they're going to get underserved by some absolutely crappy realtor. And we're going to let it happen. And why would you? Because a lot of you joined. I've heard all your stories. A lot of you joined real estate because you got underserved. Your final deal as a civilian, you're like, oh my God, they were terrible. First thing I thought was I could do this better, so I got my license, and here you are. And does your audio match your video? You are going to surprise and delight your clients. You are going to serve so much better than they did. Are we doing that? And I know you are, or your intention today is to, and how will that show up? Unlimited listings. The webinar is today with 72 sold. So please understand, when you click the link in the news, and this is all in your email, it comes in at about 7:14 in the morning, remarkably curated by our team. So the links that Zoe has slammed in there, just click that link. Now, when you click that link, it says 12 because that's Eastern time. Don't forget, most of our stuff that's delivered from Texas or from anywhere in Central time is going to say 11. So when you click into the link, it's going to say 11 o'clock on your choices. There's 4 more webinars coming up this month and into November to learn more about 72 sold. So if you have questions about that, the next one is today at nooner. You can click the link in the morning news, sign up for the Zoom webinar, and then be in front of your computer or wherever you can gather the information at noon today. The webinar information says 11, but understand that's Central Time, okay? And then the One Thing series continues today at 2 o'clock. The link is in the news, again, to get you over to the Zoom channel for that with the region. That is getting delivered by Tiff and Jen Bovey and Brooke. So be on deck for that. The One Thing. If you have not explored that book, the premise of that book is, what is the one thing that I can do that such by doing everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? I'll wait. Yeah, it's lead generation. And I appreciate, like, oh my God, people hear lead generation. Oh my God, it almost has a negative connotation. We've allowed it to have a negative connotation. Because people that play well in that space, it has a very positive connotation. That book is about demythifying all the bullshittery we let get between the 5.5 inches between our ears, right? The most difficult real estate on the planet to own is the space between your ears. So if you're renting that space to negativity, if you're renting that space to your friends that are telling you that it can't be done, I talk about this all the time. Don't Jekyll and Hyde this career, right? You spend all this time during the week around the people that you work with, around people that are like-minded and like-hearted, and then you go home and you hang around with people that might be helping you regress. And in that 68 hours over the weekend at home, you have to come back in and fight for your greatness again on Monday. So if you're the smartest person at the table, change tables. And I say that with love. I'm not telling you have to end friendships, but if you got people in your personal life that are pulling you down in your headspace, they're not encouraging you, it's unfathomable that some of the people that are rooting for you the hardest you've never met, and the people that desire to see you fail are sitting right next to you. That's horrifying and true. Think about it. Who's holding you back in your mindset, in your conversations? Who's not encouraging? Start to change your headspace. Great quote that I saw in the last couple of weeks. You can't change the people around you, and you can change the people around you, right? You might never change a certain group of your friends, but you can move to another table. You can change the environment you're in. That's what we want for you. That's why we put all this stuff together. That's why we invite you into the office full of like-minded and like-hearted people. What does that mean? Like-minded means you want the same thing. Like-hearted, according to me and Zoe, like-hearted is that you're willing to do the activities in a similar fashion. You have the same standard, the same ethics. Because some people want the same things, but they'll go wildly outside the guardrails to get there. That's not us. It's not who we want you to be. And in the protection of the 750 other souls on board and their families at home, we all have to fly right and straight. Clear eyes, full hearts. How do you deliver that passion every day? Are you making your conversations every day matter? And being okay with the fact that you might have a ton of conversations today. None of them necessarily end up at a kitchen table, but you moved the needle. You made somebody feel heard and cared for today. Diana Kokoska years ago talked about sitting at the kitchen table with her father. And her dad said the way you're going to differentiate yourself is every time you look at somebody, remember they have a sign on their forehead that says, "Make me feel special." You have the power to do that today. What is so crazy about what we get to do, not what we have to do, what we get to do when we play in our space at a real high level, is just nurturing relationships. Yes, the end game is the appointment, to the signed contract, to the closed deal, to the GCI, to the net, to the profitability. I completely appreciate that. And you have to be okay with the fact that it is super hyper granular, and it starts with your next call and how you will affect change individual to individual over time. And if you're in for that, if you're down for that, awesome. Eye black, mouthpiece, helmet, let's go. If you're not, think about why you started. Maybe on the way to like-minded and like-hearted, you lost your way. You've let people infect your thinking. You can change all that by behaving differently at the end of this call. I guarantee, I've been doing this long enough, I guarantee you are overthinking it and underdoing it. That doesn't make you a bad person, that makes you a human. And I'm giving you permission to overdo it. Nobody's going to be offended you cared too much. Nobody's going to be offended you called today. Nobody's going to be offended you popped by, stopped into their business, called them to see how you can help their business. It's one big sloppy mess of helping each other. And Nate said to me on my first day, we're making omelets, so you're going to break some eggs, get over it. It's going to get messy. Because absent chaos, right? If we hit chaos, it means we just got to sit down, take a beat, and plan and leverage you. I'll quote Alexis Musmora from Dow Realty Group 2 years ago now. Timmy, I'm overwhelmed by the underwhelm. Because she wasn't doing her thing. You guys get to flip that script as soon as we finish talking today. I'm going to remind you guys as we get into the end of the week, super important, and you'll be hearing from us because we'll be checking in from all different angles. I want to remind you as you scroll down Thursday, 2 things are happening Thursday. You can go to the first half of day 2 or step 2 of Bold. There's still time before lunch to decide to sign up. And that is going to be taking place at People's Choice Credit Union in Saco. If you need more information, by all means, reach out. And we can get you pointed in the right direction and get you into a car so you can be there for that. Should you choose to still want to sign up for that or sign up now. Above and beyond that, we also have Business Planning Clinic. We have 3 more. Actually, there's 4 more coming up. The first one is taking place Thursday of our remaining ones. We did one last month in Portsmouth. The one coming up in Meredith on Thursday is in person in the Business Center in Meredith, downstairs in the training room. We will also be online at killertv.com. It is a full day. It is 9 to 5. We're going to go through all the models in the Red Book. We're going to start to give you a roadmap to make sure you can hit the ground running, fortunately, and you can start to do activities that are going to come to fruition now by January 24th, 25th, right? After that, November 17th, in person only in North Conway. Details coming soon. North Conway, November 17th, in person only in our new office. December 15th, these are all Thursdays, by the way, in person only at the York Public Library. A sign up, Eventbrites for both of those dates are coming, but just know those are the dates. November 17th in North Conway at the office, in person only. December 15th, York Public Library, in person only. Now, after this Thursday, on November 2nd, I'm going to be in Chestnut Hill teaching to that group. When you see those emails come out about Business Planning Clinic from the region, click in. There's a whole spreadsheet. Click the Chestnut Hill link if you want to join us there. There's obviously going to be limited space on all these in-person onlys. The only reason we're pulling back from digital in our final 2 in our footprint is the ability of robust enough internet that we don't get jacked up. So I know if you're in Bold, you're thinking, well, when am I going to do it? You're going to do it at York. Or you could do it Wednesday, November 2nd in Chestnut Hill. And the region is offering others. Our market center is offering 5 total if you're traveling with me to Chestnut Hill. And don't forget, when we get to June 30th in 2023, we're going to do a halftime business planning clinic. It is hyper important for you to take 8 hours to plan the next 364 days. I trust that you feel that your business and your future and everything you want this to be is important enough to take one day with like-minded and like-hearted agents to build the next year. If I can help with any of those conversations, it's meetwithcoach.com, meetwithcoach.com, or you can reach me at 603-834-2856. We are so thrilled to be in business with you. We know when your feet hit the ground, you can go play anywhere. And the fact that you chose us to support your business is humbling, and we don't take that lightly. I'm asking you, don't take your business lightly. I need you to lean in. Because whatever you're doing right now, you could plus it in some form or fashion. And if we can help with the conversation on how you make 23 shinier than 22, you're your only competition. How do you out-hustle you next year? Let's have that conversation. Meetwithcoach.com to book some time. Or if you got a question, comment, or concern, I'm right here at 603-834-2856. Have a great day.